Billionaire businessman Femi Otedola put up a post on his Instagram just yesterday. Let's take a look at that. It features him along with the president of the African Development Bank, Femi Adesina, and in the middle of them, the governor of Lagos State, Governor Sanwo-Olu. And the post says, "Power discourse with the president of the African Development Bank Group, Femi Adesina, and Honorable Governor, or His Excellency rather, of Lagos State, Babajide Sanwo-Olu. We discussed developing Lagos State's public-private partnership power transmission project, the first in Nigeria." Now, more in Nigeria, the Naira hitting a 9-month low of 800 to the dollar on the parallel market. Haven't seen those figures since the heydays of the Naira redesign and the cash scarcity. On the INE window, falling to about 788 to the dollar. Arise business analyst Chika Mbono joins us from our Abuja studios to discuss further. Chika, good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us. Chika, I always leave it to you. Where do we start? Power in Lagos or the Naira, your favorite topic? Exchange rates.
No. Let's start with power.
Okay.
Let's start power. A little more interesting. Naira is very, very makes somebody very sad. So let's talk about power.
Let's talk power. Go right ahead.
A lot of things at play here about power. One of the first things I want to push out there is this is one of those things to talk about that the government cannot do it all, and the Nigeria can only develop when we have the public-private partnerships. And so we commend Geregu and Mr. Otedola for this initiative, the first of its kind in the country, and it's rooted on the fact that the president signed the Nigerian Electricity Act 2023. Where it's giving power and authority to states and individuals and corporations to be able to now, generate, transmit and distribute power, around the country. And so it's that. So, let me put it out there now. Some people hear me for this, and people should join the trend now and take the risk. Mr. Otedola is taking the risk. Now, when he succeeds now, a lot of people say, "Oh, he's favored." A lot of Nigerian businessmen have their money tied up in the banks in any interest rates, but he has chosen to, take this risk, the first of his kind. Working together with his co-investors and technical partners, the State Grid Corporation of China. By the way, that's the largest electricity company in the world. Backed by the lead arranger in finance, African Development Bank, together with other financiers. African Development Bank, incidentally, has had experience of this kind of thing in Kenya, where they succeeded. And so they're bringing that experience to Nigeria here. The short-term objective, you remember, Lagos is the largest economy in Nigeria. And if you extrapolate, it's the 5th largest economy in Africa, larger than so many African countries you can imagine. And current power supply now is about 500 megawatts. At the short-term objective of this is through upgrades and new constructions to achieve about 3,000 megawatts of power. And then a long-term objective is to have about 10,000 megawatts of power for Lagos State. And, you can imagine when that happens. We've spoken so much about power in this program and how it's a limiting factor to so many businesses. And where the cost of power imputed into the cost of doing business is about 40% for most companies. And if this is done, you can imagine how that favorite soup that you cook can last for you for 1 week instead of spoiling the next day because you have power permanently. So it's an initiative that we'll commend. We will recommend more of this PPP, public-private partnership to Nigerian business people, and working together with international banks and the African Development Bank in this respect. And so the first of its kind, and Mr. Otedola, sometimes humbly calls himself the prophet. So when the prophet is on this route, so let's try and see. If I had money now, I'd have joined him on this part. But power is the thing. If we get power right in our country, a lot of things will situate, and the country will become better. And so every cooperation that required, we're going to give to them to make sure this succeeds. Lagos is it, and remember, and we'll work together to make sure Lagos is number one economy, according to number one economy in Nigeria and the fifth largest in Africa.